What if I told you that most people are learning languages completely wrong? You're probably spending hours on Duolingo, getting frustrated with robotic conversations, memorizing vocabulary that you forget the next day, and wondering why you still can't have a real conversation after months of study. Here's my first hot take. Duolingo is actually making you worse at languages. I know that's controversial, but hear me out. Those gamified lessons with cartoon characters aren't preparing you for real-world communication. They're creating an illusion of progress while keeping you trapped in beginner-level thinking patterns. Well, today I'm going to share 10 revolutionary AI prompts that will completely transform how you learn languages. These aren't just any prompts. These come from someone who learned more Spanish and Russian in 3 weeks using these methods than in 3 months using traditional apps. And here's another hot take that will probably upset some people. Most language teachers don't want you to succeed quickly because it would put them out of business. Think about it. If you could reach fluency in 6 months instead of 6 years, would you still need those expensive weekly lessons? By the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit that acts like having a personal language tutor, grammar coach, pronunciation expert, and conversation partner all rolled into one, and it's completely free. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'll be sharing more language learning hacks that actually work. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Let's revolutionize your language learning journey. Now, let me ask you something. How many of you have tried language learning apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Rosetta Stone, only to find yourself stuck in this endless loop of basic phrases and repetitive exercises? Now I know what you're thinking. These prompts sound amazing, but I'd have to copy and paste them every time, remember the exact wording, and manage all my conversations manually. That's exactly why I'm excited to tell you about VivaLingua.ai, the platform that takes everything we just discussed and makes it effortless. Instead of copying prompts and managing multiple AI conversations, VivaLingua gives you a dedicated language learning dashboard where all 10 of these prompts are built in as one-click tools. Want to practice conversation? Most people fail at language learning because the tools are too complicated and scattered. VivaLingua solves this by putting everything in one place with zero friction. I've been working with the VivaLingua team to make sure these prompts are implemented exactly as they should be. No watered-down versions, no simplified features. This is the full power of AI-assisted language learning in a user-friendly package. Hot take number 3. The language learning industry is designed to keep you subscribed, not to make you fluent. They profit from your monthly payments, not from your success. That's why their courses are structured to take years instead of months. Here's the thing. Traditional language learning methods have 3 major problems. Problem number 1, one-size-fits-all approach. These apps treat everyone the same. Whether you're a visual learner who needs lots of examples or an auditory learner who learns better through conversation, you get the exact same lessons. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Problem number 2, no real-time feedback. When you make a mistake, you either get a simple wrong message or have to wait hours for human tutors to respond. But here's the thing about language learning. Immediate correction is crucial. The longer you practice something wrong, the harder it becomes to fix later. Problem 3, artificial conversations. Have you ever noticed how app conversations feel completely unnatural? Hello, I am fine. How are you? I like apples. Who talks like this in real life? These scripted exchanges don't prepare you for actual conversations with native speakers. Hot take number 4. If you can't have a real conversation after 6 months of daily study, your method is broken. I don't care how many streaks you have or how many levels you've completed. If you can't order food in a restaurant or ask for directions, you're wasting your time. But what if I told you there's a way to get personalized lessons, instant feedback, and natural conversations, all using AI prompts that cost nothing and work better than expensive language courses. That's exactly what we're going to explore today. Before we dive into the specific prompts, let me explain why this method is so incredibly effective. Reason number 1, infinite personalization. Unlike apps that give you pre-programmed content, AI can adapt to your exact level, interests, and learning style in real time. Want to learn business English while discussing your passion for cooking? Done. Need to focus on English pronunciation while talking about travel? No problem. Reason number 2, instant expert feedback. With these prompts, you get immediate, detailed feedback that's often better than what you'd get from human tutors. The AI can spot patterns in your mistakes, explain grammar rules, and provide multiple examples, all instantly. Hot take number 5. AI is already a better language teacher than 90% of human teachers. Why? Because it never gets impatient, never judges you for making the same mistake twice, and has infinite knowledge at its fingertips. Most human teachers are just following outdated textbooks anyway. Reason number 3, unlimited practice. Your AI tutor never gets tired, never judges you, and is available 24/7. Want to practice at 2 a.m.? Go for it. Want to have the same conversation 10 times until you get it right? No problem. Reason number 4, cost-effective mastery. While private tutors cost $20 to $50 per hour and premium apps charge monthly fees, these AI prompts work with free AI tools. You're getting premium education without the premium price tag. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true. But I've personally tested these prompts, and the results speak for themselves. I've helped hundreds of language learners achieve breakthrough results using these exact methods. So let's dive into the 10 game-changing prompts that will transform your language learning forever. The first prompt is called the Daily Chat Buddy, and this one alone will replace every conversation feature in every language app you've ever used. Here's the prompt. You're a friendly native speaker. Let's chat for 10 minutes in language about topic. Correct my mistakes while we talk. Hot take number 6. Conversations are more important than grammar rules. I've met people who can recite every grammar rule perfectly, but can't hold a 5-minute conversation. I've also met people who make grammatical mistakes, but communicate beautifully. Guess which group is more successful in real life? Let me show you how powerful this is. Instead of those robotic, "Hello, how are you" conversations, you can say, "You're a friendly native English speaker. Let's chat for 10 minutes in English about cooking. Correct my mistakes while we talk." What happens next is magic. The AI becomes a native English speaker who's passionate about cooking. It starts natural conversations about recipes, ingredients, cooking techniques, whatever interests you. But here's the best part. It corrects your mistakes in real time while keeping the conversation flowing naturally. Real example, you. Yesterday, I cooked pasta with tomatoes. AI. That sounds delicious. Just a small correction. It should be, yesterday I cooked pasta with tomatoes. We use past tense cooked for yesterday. So what kind of sauce did you make with the tomatoes? See how it corrected the grammar while keeping the conversation going. This is infinitely better than app conversations because it's tailored to your interests. Corrections happen naturally in context. You're practicing real conversation skills. Each session is completely different. Hot take number 7. Most people are afraid of making mistakes, but mistakes are literally how your brain learns. Every mistake is data that helps your brain adjust. Apps that prevent you from making mistakes are actually preventing you from learning. Pro tips for maximum results. Be specific about topics. Instead of general conversation, try discussing weekend plans or talking about favorite movies. Set time limits. 10-15 minutes keeps you focused and prevents overwhelm. Save good corrections. Keep a notebook of mistakes you frequently make. Vary your topics. This exposes you to different vocabulary domains. I've had students go from basic phrase exchanges to complex discussions about philosophy, current events, and personal experiences using just this one prompt. The improvement is remarkable. Now, let's talk about grammar. The thing that makes most language learners want to pull their hair out. Traditional methods either dump all grammar rules on you at once or don't explain them clearly when you need them. Hot take number 8. Grammar textbooks are completely backwards. They teach you rules first, then examples. But your brain learns the opposite way. You need lots of examples first, then the patterns become obvious. That's why kids learn their native language perfectly without ever opening a grammar book. That's where our second prompt comes in, the Grammar Gap Finder. Here's the prompt. Create a 10-question quiz on grammar topic. Explain my mistakes and show the right answers. Let's say you're struggling with English past tense, one of the most challenging aspects for many English learners. Instead of reading confusing textbook explanations, you input, create a 10-question quiz on English past tense and past perfect. Explain my mistakes and show the right answers. What you get is incredible. The AI creates personalized quiz questions that target your specific level and weak points. Question 1. Choose the correct form. When I arrived, she just already. A. Left. B. Had left. C. Was leaving. Your answer, left. AI response, incorrect. The answer is had left. Here's why. We use past perfect, had plus past participle, for actions that happened before another past action. She left before I arrived, so we need had left. Remember, past perfect shows which action happened first in the past. But it doesn't stop there. The AI then provides pattern recognition. Notice how past perfect always uses had, plus past participle, had gone, had seen, had finished. Memory tricks. Think of past perfect as the past before the past. More examples. By the time I woke up, she had already gone to work. After he had studied for hours, he took the test. Why this works so well. Targeted practice. No wasting time on grammar you already know immediate explanation. Understand why something is wrong, not just that it's wrong pattern recognition. See connections between similar grammar rules, retention techniques, get memory tricks that actually stick. Hot take number 9. You don't need to master grammar to be fluent. Native speakers break grammar rules all the time and communicate perfectly. Focus on patterns and common usage, not memorizing every exception to every rule. Advanced usage tips. Combine topics. Quiz me on English present perfect and past perfect. Add context. Create business English grammar exercises. Specify difficulty. Intermediate level English conditionals quiz. Request explanations. Use simple language to explain complex English grammar. One of my students used this prompt to master English verb tenses in just 2 weeks, something that typically takes months to understand. The key is consistent, targeted practice with immediate feedback. Vocabulary acquisition is where most language learners hit their biggest wall. You memorize words, forget them the next day, memorize them again. It's an endless, frustrating cycle. Hot take. Number 10. Flashcards are mostly a waste of time. I said it. Those vocabulary lists you're memorizing, you'll forget 80% of them within a week because they have no context, no emotion, no connection to your life. Your brain literally deletes information it considers useless. But what if I told you there's a way to learn vocabulary that's not only faster, but actually makes words stick in your long-term memory? Enter the Vocabulary Turbo Pack prompt. Teach me 15 everyday words about theme, with examples and memory tricks. Let's say you're preparing for a job interview and need business vocabulary. Instead of boring flashcards, you use Teach me 15 everyday words about business and work with examples and memory tricks. Here's what the magic looks like. Word number 1, delegate, verb. Definition, to give responsibility or authority to someone else. Example sentence, I need to delegate some tasks to my team because I'm overwhelmed. Memory trick. Think delegate, like pressing delete on your to-do list by giving tasks to others. Usage note, common in business settings to show leadership and time management. Word number 2, implement, verb. Definition, to put a plan or decision into action. Example, we'll implement the new policy starting next month. Memory trick, IMPLement, sounds like complete. You implement to complete your plans. Usage tip, often used in formal business contexts and project management. Hot take number 11, memory tricks work because they're weird, not because they're logical. The stranger the association, the better you'll remember it. Your brain loves weird emotional visual connections. That's why you remember song lyrics better than vocabulary lists. Why this system is revolutionary. 1. Thematic clustering. Instead of random vocabulary, you learn related words together. This creates stronger neural pathways and makes recall easier. 2. Multisensory memory tricks. The memory tricks engage multiple parts of your brain, visual, auditory, and emotional memory all working together. 3. Cultural context. You're not just learning words, you're learning how they're actually used in real situations. 4. Example. Sentences. Every word comes with authentic usage examples, so you immediately know how to use them in context. Power user strategies. Combine with daily chat. Use your new vocabulary in conversation practice. Create themes that matter, job interview vocabulary, or doctor visit phrases. Build vocabulary chains. Start with office items, then move to business actions. Add difficulty levels, advanced business terminology versus basic workplace words. Students using this method typically retain 80–90% of new vocabulary after 1 week, compared to 20–30% with traditional flashcard methods. The secret? The memory tricks create multiple retrieval pathways in your brain. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, pronunciation. This is where most language learners feel completely lost and frustrated. Hot take number 112, perfect pronunciation is overrated. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a thick Austrian accent and became governor of California. Henry Kissinger has a German accent and was Secretary of State. Stop obsessing over sounding exactly like a native. Focus on being understood clearly. You know the feeling. You think you're saying something correctly, but native speakers look confused, ask you to repeat yourself or worse. They pretend to understand, but clearly don't. That's why the Pronunciation Coach prompt is absolutely game-changing. Check my recording link, get feedback on each word, and 2 exercises to improve. Now, here's how this works in practice. Let's say you're learning English pronunciation, one of the most challenging aspects for many learners. You record yourself saying, I thought I brought the right thing through the thick door. You upload your recording and use the prompt. Here's the type of feedback you get. AI analysis. Here's your pronunciation breakdown. Word-by-word feedback. I clear vowel sound thought. The thus sound is too soft. Make it stronger and breathier. I good brought. You're saying brought like brought. The R should be stronger the good schwa sound right. The R needs to be more American. Curl tongue back thing should be softer than in thought. This is voiceless third through missing the R sound completely the good thick. Again there is too weak Dora sound needs improvement. Specific improvements needed. TH sounds. You have 2 types, voiced, the this, and voiceless, think thick. Practice the difference. R sounds, your R is too weak. Curl your tongue back more. Consonant clusters, tha in through, needs both sounds clearly. 2 targeted exercises, th drill, practice, thick this, focusing on tongue position, 30 seconds. R sound practice, say, red right brought through. With strong R sounds, repeat 10 times. Hot take, Nambrodra 13. Most pronunciation problems come from trying to use your native language sounds instead of learning new mouth positions. You literally need to train your mouth muscles like you're learning a sport. It's physical, not just mental. Why this is better than any app. Traditional apps. Generic try again or simple right-wrong AI pronunciation. Coach. Specific error identification. Exact improvement instructions. Targeted practice exercises. Explanation of why something sounds wrong. Pro tips for maximum impact. Record in quiet spaces. Background noise interferes with analysis. Speak at normal speed. Don't artificially slow down. Practice problematic sounds daily. Consistency beats intensity. Compare with native speakers. Ask the AI to compare your pronunciation with native examples. Focus on one accent. Choose American English versus British English and stick with it. I've seen students improve their pronunciation more in 1 month using this method than in 6 months with traditional pronunciation apps. The key is getting specific, actionable feedback instead of vague corrections. Here's something every language learning app gets wrong. They teach you the language, but not how people actually communicate. Hot take, Samtuaprasa 14. Formal language education teaches you to sound like a textbook, not like a human. That's why language exchange students often sound robotic even when they're technically correct. They learned, how do you do, instead of what's up. You learn perfect grammar and vocabulary, but then you hear someone say, it's raining cats and dogs, and you're completely lost. Or worse, you use formal language in casual situations and sound like a robot. That's where the Idiom and Culture Decoder becomes your secret weapon. Describe a local saying with 2 examples from country. Let me show you how powerful this is. Let's say you're learning American English and want to understand how people really communicate. Prompt. Describe a local saying with 2 examples from the United States. AI response. Americans saying, break a leg. Literal translation, injure your leg. Real meaning good luck, especially before a performance cultural context. This is theatre superstition. Saying good luck is considered bad luck, so performers say the opposite. It's now used for any situation where someone needs encouragement. Example 1. Your friend is about to give an important presentation at work. You might say, break a leg. I know you'll do great up there. Example 2. A student is nervous before a big exam. Their parent might say, break a leg on your test today. You've studied hard and you're ready. When to use it: before performances, presentations, or important events. To show support and encouragement in casual, friendly situations. In very formal business meetings, when someone is actually injured. Hot take, Namyakro 15. Culture is more important than grammar. You can make grammatical mistakes and still communicate effectively, but if you don't understand cultural context, you'll constantly misunderstand and be misunderstood. Why this changes everything. 1. Cultural intelligence. You're not just learning language, you're learning how people think and what values they hold. 2. Natural communication. Using idioms and cultural references makes you sound like you truly understand the culture, not just the words. 3. Social connection. Nothing impresses native speakers more than foreigners who understand their cultural expressions. 4. Context awareness. You learn not just what to say, but when and how to say it appropriately. Advanced usage strategies. Regional specificity. Southern American slang versus Northern American slang. Generation gaps, Gen Z American expressions versus traditional sayings. Professional contexts, American business idioms and cultural norms. Humor understanding. What makes Americans laugh? Explain cultural humor. One student used this prompt to understand American business culture. Instead of just learning formal English, they learned concepts like thinking outside the box and touching base. This cultural knowledge helped them succeed in American business meetings, where language-only learners struggled. Remember, people don't just want you to speak their language. They want you to understand their world. This prompt is your bridge to that deeper connection. Let's address one of the biggest frustrations in language learning. You study for months, you can read fairly well, but when someone speaks to you at normal speed, it sounds like gibberish. Hot take, Zavadara 16. Listening is the most neglected skill in language learning, but it's the most important one. You can't have conversations if you can't understand what people are saying to you. Yet most courses spend 80% of time on reading and writing, and only 20% on listening. This happens because most language courses give you either baby-level content that's too slow and simple, or throw you into the deep end with native-level content that's completely overwhelming. The Listening Boost prompt solves this perfectly. Send me a 2-minute audio, level, A2, B1, etc., with transcript, vocab list, and 3 questions. First, let me quickly explain the levels. A1, A2 is beginner, B1, B2 is intermediate, C1, C2 is advanced. This matters because you want content that's just slightly above your current level. Challenging, but not impossible. Hot take, Mandarin 17. If you're always comfortable in your language learning, you're not learning fast enough. You need to be slightly confused and challenged. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Let's say you're intermediate in English, B1 level, and want to improve your listening skills. Your prompt, send me a 2-minute audio, level B1, with transcript, vocab list, and 3 questions. What you get. Audio content, a natural conversation about weekend plans between 2 American friends, recorded at normal speaking speed, but with clear pronunciation. Full transcript. Hey Sarah, what are you up to this weekend? Hey, I'm planning to hit the farmer's market Saturday morning, then maybe catch a movie in the afternoon. What about you? Me? I need to tackle my apartment cleaning. It's a complete disaster. But Sunday I'm hoping to go hiking if the weather holds up. That sounds awesome. I could tag along if you want some company. Key vocabulary. Explained up to doing. Informal way to ask about plans hit, visit. Casual way to say go to, disaster, mess. Used exaggeratively here for emphasis tackle, deal with. To approach a difficult task holds up, stays good. Conditional expression about weather tag along, join. To go with someone casually. Comprehension questions. What are Sarah's weekend plans? Answer. Farmer's market. Saturday morning, possibly movie in afternoon. Why does the other speaker need to stay home? Answer. To clean their messy apartment. What's the condition for Sunday's hiking plan? Answer. Good weather. Why this system is superior. Traditional listening practice. Random difficulty levels. No vocabulary support. Basic yes, no questions. Generic content AI listening. Boost, precisely calibrated to your level. Pre-teaching of challenging vocabulary. Thoughtful comprehension questions. Content tailored to your interests. Hot take, Namir Bakin 18. Most listening exercises in textbooks are fake conversations that no real person would ever have. Real people use contractions, interrupt each other, change topics mid-sentence, and use lots of filler words. You need to train your ear for authentic speech patterns. Pro techniques for rapid improvement. Progressive difficulty. Start with your comfortable level, then request slightly harder versions. Topic specification. B1 English audio about cooking, or A2 English conversation about travel. Accent variety, American English B2 level versus British English B2 level. Multiple exposures. Listen without transcript first, then with transcript, then without again. Students using this method typically see dramatic improvements in listening comprehension within 2 to 3 weeks. The secret is consistent exposure to appropriately challenging content with proper support materials. Writing is where your language skills really get put to the test. It's one thing to choose from multiple choice options or fill in blanks. It's completely different to express your own thoughts clearly and correctly. Hot take, Subpunkt 19. Most language learners avoid writing because they're perfectionists. They're afraid of making mistakes, so they never practice the most important skill. But writing is where you truly learn to think in another language, not just translate from your native language. Most language learners avoid writing because they're afraid of making mistakes, or they use basic grammar checkers that miss context and nuance completely. The writing corrector prompt changes everything. Correct this short paragraph, paste, point out errors, rewrite, and explain my top 3 mistakes. Let me show you how powerful this is. Here's a real example from an English learner, student's original writing. Yesterday I went to the supermarket because I wanted to buy some foods for my family. The supermarket was very busy and I waited in the long line. I bought bread, milk and apples. It was cost $25. AI response, corrected version. Yesterday I went to the supermarket because I wanted to buy some food for my family. The supermarket was very busy, and I had to wait in the long line. I bought bread, milk and apples. It cost $25. Your top 3 mistake patterns. 1. Double past tense. Error, I went. Correction, I went. Explanation, don't use was plus past tense together. Use either was going, past continuous, or went, simple past, but not both. Pattern, you're mixing past tense forms incorrectly. 2. Modal verb usage. Error, I waited. Correction, I had to wait. Explanation, must doesn't work for past obligations. Use had to for past necessity. Also, modal verbs are followed by base form, wait, not waited. Pattern, you're confusing present and past modal verb forms. 3. Countable versus uncountable nouns. Error, some foods. Correction, some food. Explanation, food is usually uncountable in English, so we say some food, not some foods. Use foods only when talking about different types of food. Pattern, you're adding plurals to uncountable nouns. Hot take, the mind to 20. Pattern recognition is everything. Notice how the AI didn't just correct individual mistakes. It identified the underlying patterns causing multiple errors. This is how you fix problems permanently, instead of just patching them. Targeted practice recommendations. Practice past tense forms without mixing structures. Study modal verbs and their past forms, must, had to, can, could. Learn common countable versus uncountable nouns. Why this beats every other correction method. Grammar checkers, miscontext. Give generic suggestions. Human tutors, expensive, slow feedback, limited availability. Language exchange. Native speakers often can't explain why something is wrong. AI writing. Corrector, instant detailed feedback. Pattern recognition across your mistakes. Specific improvement strategies. Unlimited revisions and practice. Advanced usage tips. Genre-specific writing. Correct this formal business email versus correct this casual text message. Style improvement. Make this sound more natural and native-like. Level progression. Rewrite this using more advanced vocabulary and structures. Cultural appropriateness. Is this tone appropriate for American business communication? I've watched students transform from basic error-filled paragraphs to sophisticated near-native writing in just months using this systematic approach. The key is understanding your mistake patterns and getting targeted practice. Now let's talk about one of the most scientifically proven methods for long-term retention, spaced repetition. But here's the problem. Creating good flashcards is time-consuming, and most people do it wrong. Hot take, 21. 90% of flashcards are completely useless. Simple translation cards like Happy Glad teach you nothing about context, usage, or natural speech patterns. They're just memory drills that don't transfer to real communication. Bad flashcards are just translations. Happy, wax, glad. Good flashcards test understanding, context, and usage. That's where most people fail. The Flashcard Factory prompt solves this. Change these 20 words list into Q&A flashcards for Anki. Let's say you're struggling with these English words from your recent lessons. Achieve, implement, establish, maintain, require, provide, consider, determine, develop, increase. Your prompt, change these 10 English business words into Q&A flashcards for Anki. Achieve, implement, establish, maintain, require, provide, consider, determine, develop, increase. What you get? Card 1. Front. Complete. I decided to tausendtagetiles my goal of learning English by studying every day. Hint. To successfully reach or accomplish something. Back. Achieve. I decided to achieve my goal of learning English by studying every day. To successfully reach or accomplish something after effort. Card 2. Front. What does implement mean in this context? We will implement the new policy next month. Back. To put into action effect. We will put the new policy into action next month. Note. Implement is formal and often used in business official contexts. Card 3. Pronunciation. Front. How do you pronounce establish and what's the stress pattern? Back. Establish. Stress on middle syllable. Common mistake. Don't stress the first syllable. Means to create or set up something permanent. Card 4. Usage context. Front. Choose the right word. This job will anxious you to work weekends sometimes. Require, provide, consider. Back. Require, to need or demand something. This job will require you to work weekends sometimes. Shows obligation or necessity. Hot take. Number 22. Context is everything in language learning. Words don't exist in isolation. They live in sentences, conversations, and cultural situations. If you're not learning words in context, you're not really learning them at all. Why these flashcards are superior? 1. Context-rich learning. Instead of isolated translations, you learn words in meaningful sentences and situations. 2. Multiple retrieval pathways. Different card types, completion definition, pronunciation usage, create stronger memory connections. 3. Active recall testing. You're forced to produce the answer, not just recognize it, which strengthens memory formation. 4. Spaced repetition. Ready cards are formatted perfectly for Anki's algorithm to optimize your review schedule. Pro tips for maximum effectiveness. Import immediately. Don't let your word list sit unused. Review daily. Consistency is more important than long sessions. Add personal examples. Create additional cards with your own sentences. Track weak cards. Pay extra attention to cards you frequently miss. Studies show that well-designed flashcards with spaced repetition can improve vocabulary retention by up to 300% compared to traditional study methods. One of the biggest challenges language learners face is knowing what to study next. You finish a lesson and think, now what? This leads to random, unfocused study that doesn't build systematically. Hot take, 23. Most language learners fail because they don't have a plan. They just consume content randomly. They watch YouTube videos one day, do Duolingo the next, try a podcast the day after. This scattered approach prevents deep learning and skill integration. The immersion plan prompt solves this completely. Create a 4-week plan using podcasts, videos, books, and conversations. Spend 30 minutes each day with provided links. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Let's say you're learning intermediate English. Your prompt: create a 4-week plan using podcasts, videos, books, and conversations. Spend 30 minutes each day with provided links for intermediate English learners interested in technology and business. What you get is a complete roadmap. Week 1, Foundation Building. Monday, listen to Business English Pod episode on tech startups, 15 min. Plus practice pronunciation with shadowing technique, 15 min. Tuesday, watch TED Talks video on artificial intelligence with subtitles, 20 min, plus write summary in English, 10 min. Wednesday, read first chapter of The Lean Startup, simplified version, 20 min, plus vocabulary review, 10 min. Thursday, conversation practice using Daily Chat Buddy. Prompt: discuss favorite apps and technology, 30 min. Friday, grammar review, present perfect tense in business contexts, 20 min. Plus create business pitch in English, 10 min. Week 2, cultural deep dive. Monday, documentary, The Social Dilemma with English audio, 25 min. Plus cultural notes about tech in America, 5 min. Tuesday, podcast, Planet Money. Episode about small businesses, 20 min. Plus discussion questions, 10 min. Wednesday, online newspaper, Wall Street Journal tech section, 15 min. It's current events vocabulary, 15 min. Thursday, virtual business presentation practice on YouTube, 30 min. Friday, write blog post about dream tech startup idea, 30 min. And it continues for all 4 weeks with progressive difficulty increase, specific resource recommendations with links, skill integration, listening, plus, speaking, plus, reading, plus, writing, cultural immersion elements, weekly progress checkpoints. Hot take, Majura 24, immersion doesn't mean moving to another country. It means surrounding yourself with the language intentionally every single day. You can create immersion anywhere if you're strategic about it. Why this system is revolutionary. 1. Eliminates decision fatigue. You never waste time wondering, what should I study today? It's all planned out. 2. Balanced skill development. Each week includes listening, speaking, reading, and writing practice in optimal proportions. 3. Real resource integration. Instead of artificial textbook content, you're learning from authentic materials that native speakers actually consume. 4. Progressive challenge. The plan automatically adjusts difficulty as you improve, keeping you in the optimal learning zone. Hot take, Samtra 25. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a month. This structured approach harnesses the power of consistent daily practice instead of sporadic intense sessions that burn you out. Advanced customization options. Specific interests. Focus on English medical vocabulary for healthcare workers. Time constraints. 30-minute daily plan for busy professionals. Skill priorities. Emphasis on speaking and listening for travel preparation. Resource preferences. Avoid videos. Focus on podcasts and reading materials. Students following structured immersion plans like this typically progress 2-3 times faster than those studying randomly. The key is consistent, varied exposure with clear objectives. The final prompt might be the most important of all because it solves the biggest problem in language learning: staying motivated and measuring real progress. Hot take, number 26. Most people quit languages because they can't see progress, not because languages are too hard. Progress in language learning is often invisible day to day, but dramatic month to month. Without proper tracking, you lose motivation right before your breakthrough. Most people give up on languages because they can't see their improvement. They feel stuck, lose motivation, and eventually quit. But what if you had a clear roadmap showing exactly where you are, and what you need to do next. The Progress Tracker prompt does exactly that. Create a weekly checklist to move from current level to goal level in 90 days. Here's how it works. Let's say you're currently an English beginner who wants to reach conversational level. Your prompt: create a weekly checklist to move from English beginner, A1, to conversational English, B2, in 90 days. Hot take. 27. 90 days is enough time to make dramatic progress in any language if you're focused and consistent. The problem isn't time, it's that most people spread their effort over years instead of concentrating it into intense focused periods. What you get is a detailed 12-week roadmap. Weeks: 1 to 1-3. Foundation: A1 to A2. Week 1 goals: master, present tense of 20. Most common verbs. Learn 150 essential vocabulary words. Complete 5 basic conversations using daily chat. Buddy write 3 simple paragraphs about yourself. Milestone test. Introduce yourself for 2 minutes without notes. Week 2 goals. Add past tense for regular and irregular verbs. Learn numbers, days, months, basic time expressions. Complete 5 conversations about past experiences. Listen to 3 beginner-level audio stories. Milestone test. Tell a story about your last vacation. Week 3 goals. Master basic question formation. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Learn comparative and superlative adjectives. Complete pronunciation assessment for difficult sounds. Read first simple news article. Milestone test. Ask and answer 20 personal questions. Weeks 4 to 8. Building fluency, A2 to B1. Week 4 goals. Master future tense, will, going to, and present continuous. Learn 200 plus intermediate vocabulary words. Have 10-minute debates using Chat Buddy. Write opinion essays, 150 words each. Milestone test. Discuss pros and cons of social media. Week 8 goals. Master conditional sentences, if clauses. Learn phrasal verbs and idiomatic expressions. Conduct mock job interviews. Write formal emails and letters. Milestone test. Complete 20-minute phone call. Simulation weeks 9 to 12. Advanced communication, B1 to B2. Week 12. Final goals. Use complex sentence structures naturally. Understand fast native speech, movies, podcasts. Give 15-minute presentations on complex topics. Write detailed reports and analyses. Final milestone. Pass mock B2, speaking and writing exam. Hot take, number 28. Small daily actions compound into massive results. Most people try to study for 3 hours once a week instead of 30 minutes every day. But language learning is like physical fitness. Consistency beats intensity every time. Why this system works. 1. Clear milestones. You know exactly what progress looks like each week, eliminating guesswork. 2. Manageable steps. Big goals are broken into weekly tasks that don't feel overwhelming. 3. Regular assessment. Weekly tests show concrete improvement and identify weak areas. 4. Motivation maintenance. Checking off completed tasks provides psychological rewards that keep you going. Hot take. That's 29. Most language courses are designed to take forever because longer courses make more money. This tracker shows you can achieve in 3 months what traditional methods claim takes 3 years. Customization options. Faster timeline. Move from A1 to B1 in 60 days with intensive study. Specific skills. Focus on business English for professional advancement. Exam preparation. Prepare for TOEFL, IELTS in 90 days. Maintenance goals. Maintain B2 level with 15 minutes daily practice. Students using structured progress tracking like this have a 90% higher completion rate compared to those studying without clear milestones. The key is having concrete, measurable goals that you can actually achieve. Conclusion. There you have it, 10 revolutionary AI prompts that will completely transform your language learning journey, plus my controversial hot takes that the language learning industry doesn't want you to hear. Hot take Summer 30. The final truth bomb. The language learning industry has been lying to you. They've convinced you that learning a language takes years of expensive courses, that you need perfect grammar before you can speak, and that some people are just naturally gifted at languages. It's all nonsense designed to keep you paying and dependent on their systems. The truth is simpler. Languages are learned through massive amounts of comprehensible input, meaningful output, and immediate feedback. These 10 AI prompts give you all three at zero cost and maximum efficiency. Let me quickly recap what we've covered. Daily Chat Buddy, natural conversations with real-time corrections. Grammar Gap Finder, targeted grammar practice with detailed explanations. Vocabulary Turbo Pack, themed word learning with memory tricks. Pronunciation Coach, detailed feedback on your speaking idiom and culture decoder, understanding how people really communicate. Listening Boost, level-appropriate audio with support materials. Writing Corrector, comprehensive writing feedback and improvement. Flashcard Factory, smart-spaced repetition cards. Immersion Plan, structured learning with real resources. Progress Tracker, clear roadmaps with measurable milestones. The beautiful thing about these prompts is that they work together as a complete system. Use the Daily Chat Buddy to practice what you learned from the Vocabulary Turbo Pack. Turn your writing corrector feedback into flashcard factory cards. Follow your immersion plan while tracking progress with the Progress Tracker. Here's my final challenge for you. Don't just watch this video and do nothing. The language learning industry is counting on your inaction. They profit from dreamers who never execute. Pick one prompt that addresses your biggest language learning frustration right now and try it today. Hot take number 31. Most people will watch this video, feel motivated for 5 minutes, then go back to their ineffective Duolingo streaks. Don't be most people. Be the person who takes action. Pro tip: start with the Daily Chat Buddy if you're not sure where to begin. It's the most versatile and will immediately show you how powerful this approach is compared to traditional methods. Remember, the difference between successful language learners and those who give up isn't talent, time, or natural ability. It's having the right tools and approach. These 10 prompts are your tools. The approach is consistent daily practice with immediate feedback and clear progress tracking. I've personally seen thousands of students transform their language learning using these exact methods. Students who were stuck at beginner level for years suddenly broke through to fluency in months. Students who were afraid to speak became confident conversationalists. Students who thought they were bad at languages discovered they just needed better methods. The best part: unlike expensive courses or private tutors that want to keep you dependent forever, these prompts cost nothing except your time and effort. You can start using them today with any free AI tool and see immediate results. Hot take number 32. The future of education is AI-powered personalization, not mass-produced courses. You're getting a glimpse of that future right now for free. The question is, will you use it, or will you stick with outdated methods because they're familiar? If this video opened your eyes to what's really possible in language learning, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that challenges conventional wisdom and actually gets results. Drop a comment below and tell me, which hot take shocked you the most? Which prompt are you most excited to try? What's your biggest language learning frustration right now? I read every comment and often create videos based on your requests and challenges. Also, if you want the complete list of all 10 prompts formatted for easy copying and pasting, plus my Language Learning Lies Exposed bonus guide, I've put together a free resource package. Check the description below for the link. It includes bonus prompts and advanced techniques that I didn't have time to cover in this video. Your language learning journey doesn't have to be slow, expensive, or frustrating anymore. With these AI prompts and the controversial truths I've shared today, you have everything you need to learn any language faster and more effectively than 99% of people ever will. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop using methods designed to keep you paying instead of learning. Stop believing the lies that keep you dependent on an industry that profits from your failure. The tools for language learning revolution are in your hands right now. The only question is, what are you going to do with them? Your fluent future self is waiting, and these 10 prompts, combined with the harsh truths I've shared today, are your roadmap to get there faster than you ever thought possible. Thanks for watching, and remember, the language learning industry doesn't want you to succeed quickly, but I do. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning conventional wisdom, and most importantly, keep taking action.